You have, here's the thing with your current outfit.
Oh, my current outfit is dominating.
It's, first of all, you're looking great.
Yeah.
I'll first say that. It's great to
Can you
have
tell?
you back because people were concerned. People were reaching out to me asking, where has Hardy been? You haven't
Really?
been on the Happy Hour, I think, in 7 weeks.
Yeah. It's been a little bit of a break. Nothing crazy.
Nothing crazy's happened.
Yeah. Well, with me, there's lots going on, but nothing crazy's happened in the world.
No, nothing crazy. You know, Ukraine might get invaded. But besides that, but your current outfit, because it's currently snowing.
Yes, it is snowing outside.
So your top and your hat are addressing the snow.
My top.
Your top.
Yes. My jacket, my lid, my new.
Your sweater, which is a very nice sweater, by the way.
Yeah. This sweater that fits now. So I got this for Christmas a season or two ago, and it didn't fit.
Okay.
I just tried to put it on. I was too fat.
Okay.
For everyone out there, a little inspiration, and I tried it back on today.
It looks fantastic.
Yeah, it fits. Thank you. I appreciate this, Rich, because I'm feeling good. I'm down. I definitely. Can you tell that I've lost some weight?
I could tell you've lost some weight.
Yeah. Okay.
That's
yeah,
why.
Yeah.
It's the pants, babe.
That are insane.
Yeah, that's
no,
insane.
I know, but I know this about you because you once. Do you remember where you were like, no one over the age of 30 should wear ripped jeans? Either you or
I did say that. That was me. But here's the thing: even if you wear ripped jeans, that's fine. It's not fine, but it's
right.
what it is.
That's right. It's not fine.
Snowing.
Yes.
And you're rocking. And by the way, they're torn.
They're massively ripped.
They're massively ripped.
My
jeans.
knee is coming out of this jean.
It's to the point where I don't know if it's I don't think the pants were designed that way. It's that ripped.
There's no way the pants were designed this way. Okay, they
weren't.
No.
Oh.
No. They were a starter rip. I mean, there was a good rip, but now it's escalated into this chasm of an exposed knee here.
Chasm's a good word.
Yeah,
That's a lawyer word. That's good.
Chasm, dude. But I did think before I left, I should wear not ripped jeans. So I do think these things, right? I was like,
You just don't act on them.
No, so that's
Okay.
That's exactly no. So then I go, you know what? I don't like the look of the non-ripped with the top. Yeah. So I was like, I want to. Yeah. Because I wanted a little more flair to the outfit.
And you use skin as the flare.
Yeah. So I like the rip. Because I just have like these other jeans I didn't really like that much. So I did think about it, and then I was like, And it's not that cold out, let me tell you.
It's not that cold out. But
You'd
it
be
is
surprised.
snowing, correct? Is it flurrying?
No, it stopped flurrying, actually.
Oh, it did stop flurrying.
It did, but it was flurrying earlier.
Okay.
So, I get it. The hat does a lot, though, for warmth.
Well, the hat matches the pants.
Yeah. The hat and the
It's
pants.
the middle that doesn't add up.
Yes, the middle. This nice guy.
It's a very nice jacket as well.
Yeah. No, I'm feeling. Well, this is one of the first days I've really popped on some new digs while I've been, because to let people know I've been on a juice fast.
You've been on the juice fast. Well, before that, you had COVID.
Yes. Very, very, very intense.
It was an intense case.
Yes, Rich. It was. Oh my God.
I had dinner with Tobin and Luciano, and they said they haven't seen you. For Tobin to say he hasn't seen you in a while, I knew it had to be.
Oh yeah, dude. When
serious.
did you see Tobin?
Last week.
Oh, okay. So I've potted with him a couple times now.
Okay.
Last
week, 2 weeks ago, maybe.
Yeah, like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago. I think.
Dude. Oh man, I got it so bad. Oh, this is such a story, Rich.
Yes. Can I tell
you? Really want to go in? Because this is insane. I mean, it's a truly insane.
For you to tell me I don't even know. For you to say something's insane, it has to be so wild.
Yeah. Because it's very wild. I don't even know if it's going to come out right talking to you on this pod.
Okay.
Because that's how insane it. I don't even know where to begin. I could even start at the end. Yeah, it's just such
You want to Tarantino this. You want to start at the end, jump to the beginning. I think we all know how it ends. You end up on this couch, you're back on the show.
That's right. Well, it ends. I almost hospitalized myself.
Okay.
Yeah, went to the hospital.
Okay.
Yes. I was an hour. I was very close.
You felt so ill.
Yes.
Okay. Because it kind of sounded like self-harm. I'm going to be honest the way you phrase that.
Oh,
I
okay.
almost put myself in the hospital.
Oh, no. Nothing like that. Okay. Although I'm not suicidal. I probably drank myself close to.
That's why you stopped drinking.
Right. Okay. So let's say that. But I did have a psychotic break
during COVID.
During this bout. I mean, I legitimately. Now, it wasn't like. I don't know how to explain. Psychotic break makes it sound like it was not normal business for me. You know me. I meditate.
Okay.
I read. I write. I say center. Right. I breathe.
Chakras.
I'm doing this a lot. I like to be zen. I like to be present. And this broke me eventually. And I was in a full panic. So
go.
Yeah. So what happened was, all right. It's over Christmas, okay? We get word that someone my sister knows had got COVID or something.
Okay.
Right? Now, we don't think this is where I got it from, okay? But I'm just giving you the lay of the land.
Okay.
Right?
When did you interact with someone who knows your sister?
No, my sister said, "Oh, someone I know has it."
2 degrees away from you.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm but I'm still in a dick. I was being a dick about COVID for a while. Or at least I was being cavalier.
This was your first interaction.
Yes, and I kept saying things to people like, "Come on, the mortality rate is super low.
Yep.
What are we doing here? I'm triple vaxxed. I got the booster, the zapper, the Zipatini."
Yep.
Right?
Zipatini.
You know what I mean? Every name they got. You zap the booster, then you boost the zapper.
I hear you.
I'm not. So I'm the cavalier guy. I'm going, depending on your age. I just wasn't taking it very seriously.
I hear you.
So then Christmas passes, great Christmas, get a lot of sweet gifts, and I go back to Brooklyn, or no, not Brooklyn.
I was going to say.
Yeah, I moved. In Harlem, I go to Harlem, and sometimes the juice fast is just.
I understand.
Yeah, you just lose all. So I go back to Harlem and I start feeling the chills. Okay. So here we go. I don't really know what it is. And mind you, I never actually get tested from this point forward. So I don't even know.
Okay.
Right.
Now, let's be honest.
Yes.
That's a gigantic part of the story.
Yes. It's a massive part of the story. You now know.
Yeah. So you told me you had COVID.
Yes.
Tom and Tobin were concerned that you had such a severe case of COVID.
Yes.
It comes out. Could not be that.
It could be just the flu. But I will say, you're probably not going to think that by the end of the story. You know what I'm saying?
Fill me in on because I had a very similar situation.
Okay.
Fill me in on your, not side effects. What's the word I'm looking for?
What
symptoms?
Okay. So, symptoms are a part of the chief meat of the story here.
Right.
All right. I got a new. So I'm glad you asked. I got a new symptom every night. It was like the 7 nights of COVID. Yeah.
It's a.
It was on.
It's if COVID and Hanukkah meshed. And what a timely fashion for it to have shown up that way.
Fresh in the new year, I got 4 magical nights of COVID.
Okay.
Right? Like Adam Sandler's 8 Crazy Nights of Christmas or something like that. Okay. Right? Yeah. Perfect timing. Now, I have to say, it was very bizarre. I'm just going to put this out there just as a little background because I like to storytell. I like to dish you a little bit. All right. So a little taster of paprika.
That's all it is.
Yeah. Like we're going to get there, but just so you know what's happening.
The poo-poo platter of stories.
Yes. The antipasto. Yes. Yeah. Okay.
I like that.
Yeah. So take a piece of salami, an olive. Hang in there. Dinner's coming.
Okay.
All right, people. Okay. That's great. Oh, I love that. Dinner's coming. We'll get there. Nibble on the antipasto. All right. I'm going to lose my train of thought unless I go.
Okay, go with the symptoms. Enough with the antipasto.
What was the Chavants? Okay, Chevy Chavants. Okay,
back.
There we go. We back. So just so you know, it was odd because I do mean each night was a different symptom. And there was a sort of thing that was happening where I would recover from the previous night's symptoms by about 2 p.m. to about 5 p.m., at which point I would feel okay and I would be able to eat, and then the new symptom would resume. Yep. Literally. So I'm not saying like, ha, there was a new symptom. No, it was this odd rotating wheel of symptoms.
Yes.
Okay? Like, what's the wheel with Sajak? The Wheel of Fortune.
The wheel of...
Yeah.
I like how you called him Sajak, like you're on some sort of very informal basis with him.
Sajak.
With fucking Pat.
With Pat Sajak, the legend.
King.
So the wheel of, symptoms, which include... Well, let's back it up. So night 1.
This story's in manual transmission. It's stopping and stalling all over the place.
That's right, baby. We're in a Porsche, right? We'll get
right.
We're getting the turns, but it's in manual.
Okay.
All right. So night 1, I get your basic, run of the mill, burger, right down the middle flu symptoms. Okay. Nothing special. Okay.
Fever, headache.
Yes.
Chills.
Okay. And it's fine because I'm like, okay, I get it. Haha. This sucks balls, but I got the chills.
What are you gonna do?
Right. So I fall asleep that night eventually. I wake up and I'm like, okay, I don't feel that bad. So, maybe I'm all right. And to mind you, I had waited at City MD twice the week before Christmas to get COVID tests, and I was negative on both. Okay. So night 1 happens. So then, I'm putzing around, and we enter night 2
of symptoms.
Yes. And night 2 is the sore throat. Yeah.
And now everything's starting to fade.
Yes.
And you just get a sore throat.
I don't really have chills. I don't have much of anything else, but I have this sore throat.
I got tapas is what I was... This whole time I've been thinking about what Spanish appetizers are called.
Tapas. Yes.
I'm sorry. It really bothered me. I didn't remember.
No, because that's perfect for me with the Spanish. This is your tapa. Here's your tapa. Okay. Sore throat, right. Tapas.
Okay, day 2, sore throat.
Yes. Sore throat. Now, let me tell you, this is no ordinary sore throat, all right? I mean, it's the most brutal sore throat of my life.
Okay.
Yeah, I could not swallow. So from about 7 p.m. till the next morning at 10 a.m. I could not sleep. I never slept.
Sore throat. You can't swallow anything.
Yeah. And what I realized was, after the fact, was that someone said this to me. It was great. Like, if you have to think about breathing, you can't fall asleep. Right? So, like, breathing.
I guess that's correct.
Yeah, like, it has to be an unconscious thing that's going on when you fall asleep.
Right.
Right? But I was continuously focused on my breath. And this is the next night, too, that happens. But okay. So I couldn't fall asleep. So I was like, and the sore throat was so painful. You know?
Right.
So.
And that's the only thing you experienced.
Yes, it was just, I was burnt out. I was tired. I was beat up, but I just had this vicious sore throat.
I got you.
Yeah. So I'm doing everything I can. It's not working. You know, finally the next day, like 10 a.m., 11, the sore throat begins to recede.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay, you know, like I told you, this 2 p.m. window. So that starts going away. So I'm like, okay, I think I might be through the woods. You know, I was pretty pumped up. I get some diner food.
Oh.
Yeah, you know, I get some eggs, chicken noodle soup.
Sore throat.
Yes. I'm working through it. I'm like, okay, here we go. I've alerted people that I'm sick. Also, by the way, the crazy thing is I'm worried about if I should be where I am because I have roommates.
Michael's back.
The monk, the former monk is that. So
this gets to my question,
yeah.
And my girlfriend raised this as well. Did he have the vial of powder?
Yeah. Okay. So he gave me a tea. Yes. That is brilliant. Wow.
Yes.
She really yes. He did give me that tea, and he did tell me the other thing where he said COVID is a disease for people who don't know how to breathe correctly. And this comes up later in the story as a very key piece.
Oh, yes.
So this guy's like key. So, but I saw him kind of after the fact because I stayed out of the bathroom and I stayed out of the fucking kitchen. I was just in my room because I didn't want, but again, I'm going to put this out there. I don't know if I should say this. I don't think my landlord's listening. Last time I had mentioned to her that I had a false positive on a PCR, she threatened to call the police and kick me out of the apartment.
I don't think that's legal.
No. And my sister said the same thing, but I'm like, what am I going to do? So I'm not like, I don't know what to do. I'm like, I'm not telling this person, right? This person.
You can't tell them.
This is where I live, you know? But at the same time, I'm like, okay, but other people are here. So I'm in this huge kind of weird moral conundrum.
Is the office open?
Yeah, but like they weren't there a lot. You know, it's holiday.
Okay. Right. Good time to if you're going to have it, great time to have it.
Yeah, perfect timing. But you see what I'm saying? You're like,
I understand.
So I'm like, okay, I can't go out of and then I'm looking at COVID hotels.
That's a thing?
Yes. So, but it's not a thing because I called 2 or 3 times and I was just on hold for fucking 2-3 hours.
How does she think she could kick you out of the apartment if you test positive for COVID?
I have I never told you that story. That was last year. I said that. She was like, I'm calling the police. And I was like, this is correct. And I ended up leaving. I had to go to my parents' apartment for the week.
What?
Yeah. Because she was so, like, just over the top. I was like, I don't know what to fucking do about this.
Can't you sue her?
Maybe. That's like, I haven't done anything like that. We're good now.
It's water under the bridge.
Yes,
you were at the cocktail party.
That's right. And she's a very sweet woman. We've been very nice. Things have been totally rectified. I was probably being a bit of an asshole too. Started bringing her coffee more and like doing nice things. So I think she was just nervous. Everyone was nervous at that time.
Okay.
Right? It was the beginning.
The before time.
Yes. It was like, oh my God, everyone's going to die now because you have one, this guy coughed. Everyone dies. Right. Yeah. So it was that kind of time. But I didn't know, again, I was not in a situation to be like, okay, I can just pick up and leave. I'm very ill, right? So that's why I was like, okay, I'm gonna put my livelihood at risk here,
right?
So I'm in there. I'm staying away from staying away from everything. I'm checking out COVID hotels, which apparently is a thing. Like if you are in my situation, like you have roommates or something, you can go stay in a hotel. And then eventually I was like, well, I also don't know I have COVID.
Again, you never tested yourself.
Like, I tried. I went to City MD. God, this is just such a woven tale of complexity.
There's tales within tales.
That's what I'm saying. It's just there's a myriad of roads. So City MD I go to, and they're so backed up, but I kind of knew this. They're so backed up that they're turning everyone away unless you show up an hour and a half before it fucking opens.
Yes.
That's a yes. That's a thing. That means yes. You mean yes. That is what's happening.
That did happen. I witnessed it. I saw it with my own eyes. Did you stand out there like a jamoke?
Twice.
You're an idiot.
But not when I was sick. To get tested. When I was sick, I'm not going to stand out there. I'm already sick.
Let me ask you a question. Because this is where my mindset went when I saw all these people online. Because it went for the City MD over here, it went 4 blocks.
Yes, it was like 200 plus people.
200 plus people.
Yes.
Here's where my mind went.
Yeah.
If you don't feel symptoms right now and you're testing to see if you're sick, why would you stand outside in the cold for 2 hours, increasing your odds of becoming sick?
Right. So the reason, okay, that's a good point. I was doing it because it was the only place that had rapid tests.
Along with people on the street. I got the people on the street here. I don't know how legit those tests are.
Yeah, but those are depending on what those are 24 to 78. They're not
We're talking hours.
Yes, hours.
I dropped the UR there.
What yeah.
I told hours.
Yeah,
I tried to hardy hours.
What is it? Hours?
Yeah, hours.
Hours is not bad. Kubox.
Kubox.
Yeah. 24 Kubox.
Okay.
Yeah. Did you get it? But that wasn't good for me because I actually was going home for Christmas, like literally the next day.
You need something a little quicker.
Yes. Now I get it. Also, just as an aside, I will say this. Those tests use QR codes. So for the rest of the world here that doesn't have the fancy phones, they don't fucking take, which is why they fucked up so bad. To not have tested, like, not everyone has the iPhone. Like, we just gotta, no, you're gonna argue with me on this?
Wait, not everyone has the iPhone. You're right. They have an Android.
Rich, this is so inappropriate. It's like the internet, what everyone's doing with the internet. Like, you have to have the internet. That's a problem. That's a free speech problem. You can't make things, especially not something that's like public welfare emergency, rely on a piece of tech. Wait. You can do it to an extent. It can't be the case that for everyone.
So what do you need the QR code for the results?
They were scanning QR codes so you could check in, right? And I just don't have the QR code.
At the street.
Yes. The street ones. Now, maybe not all of them are doing that. That's just what I saw for some of them.
Okay.
Right? And also, the city MDs turned into first responders because they couldn't take anyone actually sick. So a city MD is not a vaccination clinic.
Oh.
So I come in, I'm sick, and they're like, I haven't been taking walk-ins in 3 weeks. And I'm like, right. So I go back home. Now, here comes night 3 and the legend of the whooping cough.
Whooping? I haven't heard of whooping cough since I was on the Oregon Trail. Whooping cough. So let's break it down again. First night, chills, fever.
Run of the mill. Your run of the mill.
Fades.
Yes.
Sore throat.
The worst.
Fades.
Here we go.
What? Did you have a fever this whole time?
Night of 1,000 deaths. No, not really. It comes and goes. Like, I feel it come on because I'm like, again, let me just, yes, I still have a little bit of a fever to answer your question.
Okay.
And also, let's take a little stock. I also have not slept still. Because this, ladies and gentlemen, this little piece here is what sinks me.
The whooping cough.
Is the sleep. Now, the whooping cough's coming, but the sleep becomes the true issue.
You couldn't catch some Z's during that 3-hour pier.
I couldn't. No. I hadn't slept the whole night.
Right.
With the sore throat.
Right.
I still haven't slept.
Okay.
Just so there's your bar. All right. So night 2, 7 p.m. I have not slept a wink through that night, and we're in the next day.
Yes.
And we're approaching the waterfall that is the whooping cough.
There you go.
Okay. And yes, the whooping cough will sink me too. So the whooping cough comes on. And I'm thinking this ain't going to be worse than the sore throat. Right? That was a whoop, And I say whooping, I don't even know. It wasn't very productive cough, right? It was just a cough, consistent. There was an infection in my chest, clearly. There was some breathing issues, but I was just coughing consistently.
Okay.
Now, fast forward to, 4, 5 a.m. Okay? I still haven't slept. And every time I try to fall asleep, the cough immediately wakes me up. Right? So I literally can't doze off. And now I'm going on, I don't even know how many hours of no sleep.
Almost 48.
Right. Almost 48. So I start, and this is where the story gets insane. And I'm just going to leave it out there for people. This gets a little woo-woo metaphysical, but I'm just going to go there for a second.
Listen, okay.
Right? It's not totally, but it is a spirit. It's almost a bizarre spiritual experience. So I can't breathe without coughing.
Right, you inhale,
yes,
chest,
it
cough.
activates the cough. Right, so it's immediate. So I can't do it through my mouth, can't do it through my nose. So
it's the two ways.
Yeah, it's the only two ways.
The only two ways.
Turns out it's the only two ways.
How's your sister doing this whole time?
They're great. Great question. So this is going to come up too. Brilliant question. My sister and my brother are fine.
Okay.
Right? Same with my parents. So it's like kind of weird because, again, to bring it back, what a great interview. To bring it back, we thought it might be related to my sister. Right. And it's looking like it might not be because no one else is having issues.
Right.
So maybe it was my friend Cal. I don't know exactly what it was, but I'm like, okay, so maybe it's not them. And they know. I'm telling them what's going on. They're sending me stuff. My brother sent me groceries. My sister sent me stuff to eat. Miller sent me stuff.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, he sent me a ton of ramen and Gatorade, which was great.
Yeah, that works out.
So so my sister, fine. They're fine. 5 a.m. comes around. I'll try to describe this the best way I can. I'm desperate to fall asleep at this point now. Yeah, like I'm not even kidding. Like I'm in a sort of panic. Like I'm wondering if I'm gonna have to be induced to sleep. The only time I've ever felt like this is on benders of cocaine, which ended up coming very critically into me being able to calm myself down and fall asleep. Was I used skills I remembered from doing too much cocaine.
Okay.
Which is wild.
Yeah.
Okay. Like I was like, who thought that would ever? I was like, okay, I've been here before. I did know. Now in that scenario, I knew the cocaine would sort of wear off.
Right.
And sort of that stuff. But in this scenario, I was sort of like, I don't know if anyone's ever been in this scenario. It's hard to imagine. I would never imagine it. This is the first time it's ever really happened to me outside of the cocaine. But imagine not being able to fall asleep. And I know you're going to go, come on, man. What are you saying, right? You just got to take, no. I took NyQuil. I took everything. It was reacting, okay? Not to calm me. I wasn't like, oh, I had adrenaline. So not only was I not falling asleep, I was awake as fuck night two.
Huh.
Yeah, on no sleep.
Night 3.
No, night 2. Sore throat is the first night of no sleep.
Oh,
it's night 2.
In terms of no sleep, I thought we were talking symptoms.
In symptoms, it's night 3.
Okay.
No sleep, it's perfect. No sleep, it's night 2.
Okay.
Okay, so you would think I'd be exhausted.
You'd imagine.
I'm in a manic state. I'm online looking at COVID-induced mania.
Because it's your body is reacting to the lack of sleep.
Yes. Okay? Thank you. Just to try to get this right so people aren't like,
completely
just doze
understand.
off, man. No. It's not even close to that. I'm standing up. I'm moving around. I'm manic.
And just in your room.
Yes. And it's intense.
You're like a tiger. You're like a sleep-deprived tiger. You're just in your cage, and you're going to be let out.
That's exactly right. I'm a fucking manic tiger that feels like he's on adrenaline, that's just pawing at the walls. Okay. And I know after a while, I'm like, okay, it's even bad to try to fall asleep because I'm going to lower my self-confidence because I know I can't fall asleep. So I'm like, the best thing to do is to do some other things. I wrote 20 pages of a novel about college.
Okay.
In my just whirlwind of mania. Okay. This is just to give you a taste of what's going on.
Did you read it after you?
Yeah, I have not taken much of a look at it. Some of it looks pretty all right.
Yeah, all right. Okay, so maybe you came out with something.
That's right. But I'm like, I'm doing shit like that because I'm like, I'm watching stuff. I'm trying not to think too much about it.
This energy has to go somewhere. Where can I put this?
Boom, boom. And I can't go running. I can't go do anything.
Yes.
So I'm getting, I'm itchy. I'm fucking boxing.
You're shadow boxing. And you're okay.
I'm shadow boxing a little bit, not too much. I'm just like, okay. So then it hits me. I'm like, okay. It hits me. The monk, Nicholas, what he said to me ages ago, right, in the great forest. He goes, it's the issue is with breathing.
Okay.
Right? So this hits me like a bolt. All right? And I'm like, I'm a spiritual guy. I like getting linked up. This hits me like such a bolt. Like if you got a joke, when you go up and you've done a set where you just catch some weird, you have a spark of inspiration and it's just the right one and you go on it.
Yep.
And there was 10 minutes and you're like, what was that?
Yep.
It felt like that kind of bolt. It was like, why would that pop up right now, Matt? Like that's important. So I seized it. Okay.
Go. I'm with you so far.
So I seize it and I'm like, okay, I got to look at this breathing. The breathing is why I'm coughing.
Right.
Here we go. Let's attack this. Let's get on the fucking offensive. All right. So I stop. I'm like, I'm not breathing through my mouth anymore. We're done. Okay? Done. I can do that. I've done Bikram yoga for many, many years. You only go in and out the nose.
Yep.
And it's important because it's not attached to the nervous system that gets you all, you know that? Mm-hmm. Where you're in like a cold shower, you're in a panic. If you go in the panic, it panics you more.
Yep.
Okay? So I'm like, boom, let's get that out of there. We're doing nose breathing.
Gotcha.
All right? So now I'm going nose. It still got me in the nose. So nose,
the chest.
Yeah, It's still activating it. So nose breathing is still making me cough pretty good. But I realize I still have, it's when I breathe very hard through my nose.
Shallow breaths.
Right. So now I start going little sips. I don't know if anyone can see me on the little in and out sips.
That's it.
Which my buddy told me, he's like, dude, that's like emergency breathing or something. After the fact, he was like, in swimming, they taught us that. Like, that's like you were in like an emergency breathing state.
Now, let me ask you this question.
Yeah.
As you're going through the breathing dilemma,
Yes.
the choices, did you ever think to consult Michael?
Oh, no, because I was concerned about passing it, right? And I don't know if he was there at that time.
Okay.
Yeah, like I was concerned. I was mostly concerned, like, it's a good question. I didn't go over to like knock on his door. I was just like,
Do you have his number?
No.
Does he have a phone?
No, I don't think so.
He doesn't seem like a guy that would have a phone.
No, he doesn't have. He's really. This guy's off the grid.
Yeah, he's fucking off the grid.
Yeah, like complete. So. Long. Well, we'll keep going. Long story. It's not that long story short. No, we'll keep going. This is good, right?
Yeah, I don't give a
Yeah. So I do the short breaths, and then I stop coughing. So I'm not activating the cough.
But what time is it?
It's probably like 6 a.m. Okay.
Okay.
So but I'm not asleep. I'm just not coughing. And I'm having this experience where about I can feel COVID or whatever the fuck it is, the disease, annoyed. And it would come up from my chest into my throat to make me cough.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it would like come up. And a few times, like I could feel, I was like, because I'm breathing so shallow, it's like I'm not even going in here,
Right.
the chest. But it came all the way up anyway to be like, fuck you, and it would make me cough. But now I'm thinking I got this thing on the run. Okay? Now we're boxing. Fuck you, where you're playing on my turf.
There you go.
Right? You're coming up here. I'm fucking yelling shit in my room. I mean, it's insane. I'm
Okay.
like, I fucking got, okay, here we go. So I sit back down, another hour of short breath. And now my body, because it's not coughing all the time, it's only coughing like once in a while, 30 minutes, it's relaxing a little bit, right? So it's like helping me with my nerves because I'm not coughing like all the time.
Right.
So it's like becoming slightly better situation, a slightly better situation. And then eventually I find a pathway where I can breathe slowly, but all the way through. Like a deep breath.
Gone.
And out. And now I'm like, oh, now it's game time. And I start doing like the Wim Hof, who's the famous breathing guy, in the nose, out the nose, huge breaths, right? Consistently. Through the mouth now, out the mouth, consistently. Standing up, upright position, right? Attacking this thing.
Right.
30 minutes of breathing. No let up. Because I know if I stop.
Of deep, heavy breathing.
Yes.
Okay.
In my room, I like the tiger, right? Throwing shit at the wall.
There you go.
Dude.
Is there anyone in the office as you're doing this that's like, what the fuck is Matt doing?
There's no one there.
Okay.
There's no one there during this, because again, it was really early. So no one would be there anyway. It was
Okay.
like 6. Yeah. So like 30 minutes, just intense breathing. And not letting up, because again, it was the let up where I knew it would come. I would relax for a second, and then that would
Right.
come.
You can't let it get
No.
it. You can't get its footing.
That's right. It's a full scale war.
Yes.
This is life and death for me, right? I haven't slept in
could
2
be.
nights. Yes, I don't know. It's also
For all
something.
you know, it is life and death.
That's right. There is part of me that's going, this is not an ideal disease. It has taken people's lives.
Yeah. If it is what you think it is.
Yes.
You never got tested, so it's hard to do. It's hard to actually, if it's what I think it is, then yes.
That's right. It's what I think it is. It's not something to be played with, you know? Now, I told my sister after, I'm 36. You might think I look pretty good now, but like at the time, you know, I was fat. I was overweight, man. I weighed myself over Christmas break. I was like 240.
Okay.
230. Like, I'm overweight. I don't sleep particularly well. I was smoking cigarettes the month prior.
That's
when
a
I was
problem.
in Chattanooga. That started up a little bit again. You know, I'm eating dairy late. So I'm also not
Yeah. The other things, I don't think you go, I was smoking cigarettes, I was
Yeah.
overweight. I had dairy a little late. That's not equal.
No, but I'm talking pints, Rich. Pints of ice cream.
I'm recently finding out how much ice cream people eat, and it blows my
Rich,
fucking mind.
I was doing like 2 to 3 pints a week.
2 to 3 pints a week?
Yes.
Ben and Jerry's?
Yep, at 2 to 3 in the morning. Sometimes I would even get a slice of cheesecake. So
What
Yes.
slice of cheesecake's available at 2 to 3 a.m.?
bus stop diner, more cheesecake than you'd think, brother.
That to the whole world of nocturnal desserts I'm unaware of.
That's an app.
That's an app.
Nocturnal desserts is brilliant.
That's
There's
fun.
a lot of good nocturnal desserts in Harlem.
Okay.
I'll tell you. Like Savory Deli has unbelievable desserts. I'm such a wild man. Sometimes I'd make it past dessert and get the breakfast sandwich then at like 6 a.m., 7 a.m.
That's not weird.
But without like just staying up through the night? Oh, I mean, that seems insane.
Yeah, you're adhering to the cultural
Yeah.
culinary standard at that time. You can get whatever you want again.
That's a good point.
You know?
It is the day starter.
Yeah, it's a day start. For you, get a burger. They don't know. You could be a nurse for all they know.
It's time. Okay, that's brilliant. So it's a little more than a little dairy. What I'm saying is, I was overweight. Like 235, 240 for me is about 30 pounds overweight. 30 to 40 pounds over.
Okay.
Just metabolically.
You're a big guy, though.
Yeah,
You're a
I
big
know.
guy.
We can play this game, but I will say medically, your BMI. I know people don't like this.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
not. It's like a hot topic.
Right. It's not ideal.
But the truth is, there's a certain amount that you pass, and just officially, medically, you're technically overweight.
Yeah. Okay.
Right?
I can't disagree with what you just said.
Yes. And that's what they're measuring it by. So I'm not, anyway, point is, I'm not in the best. I'm not this like bastion. I wear weight well, but I'm not this like bastion of health. I was at a point maybe in my life where I am sober, but it's not like, there were these things that I was like, oh, okay, this isn't necessarily ideal.
You're more mentally healthy than physically healthy.
That's right. That's right.
You put more eggs in the mental health basket.
That's a great way to put it. I
physical.
think, and that's why, bring it really full circle, I've gone into the juice fast because I realized how much, my mental was largely good, and I was putting a lot of eggs in that basket, but the diet and the health is what directly correlates to that.
Right.
Almost as much as anything, which I'm now, reinvesting in 2022.
Good.
Yeah. So, but there I am, right? I'm like, I'm doing this 30-minute this intense breathing to try to literally beat this thing into submission.
You're talking about this whooping cough like a New Englander talks about a big fish. There I was, looking into the eye of the beast, and I'm pulling up, and it's pulling down, and I'm pulling up, and it's pulling down. And I said, not today.
That's exactly what it is, dude. I'm like wrestling a fit, and I actually say, not today. Mine was, I go leave or pay the ultimate price.
You said that out loud.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I said it to what was going on.
But out loud to the virus.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I might retract what I said about the mental health eggs in the basket statement, because that's fucking crazy.
Yes. But it's affirmations, dude.
Sure.
I'm in a battle zone, and this thing needed to know who's boss.
I hear you.
Leave now or pay the ultimate price.
For someone that is having trouble breathing, that's such a long sentence. If you said leave, okay, I can see that. But the ultimate consequence is so many syllables.
Oh yeah, it's just the whole thing, and like if someone's standing nearby, God knows what they're thinking. I can't even telling this story, but I have to. It's what happened, and I'll even give you the last piece when I was really in the zone, and I came back down from the breathing, and I kept up in the nose, out the nose, and I could see that it had receded. I said to myself, I was like, black belt.
Internally or externally?
Yes. No, I said it out loud. I was like, black belt. I
would have loved the fucking... I don't even need the visual. Just give me a mic. Just leave a mic in your room going on. Because you're yelling all this crazy shit, and I love it.
Yeah, well, and this is where the breakdown... So also, you're also onto something. Like, I'm about to have the psychotic break, or the
that wasn't it.
No. This is where it's coming.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So I hit black belt, and this thing's fucking on the ropes, and now I'm like, okay, let me try to sleep. Because remember, guys, it's like 60 hours, and also remember, I don't know if you've never slept before. What starts happening is you enter a stage of intense paranoia and hallucination, where it's like you know nothing's wrong, but like it feels like something's wrong, and everything you're using to combat is your own mind, but your own mind hasn't slept, so you're using something that is broken to try to fix the problem.
Right.
So you're just in a fucked loop. So I'm in the room tigering around, and now my whooping cough has been beaten up a little bit, but I still haven't slept. So I go for the sleep, okay? And I can't do the mouth, but I can go through the nose.
Okay.
I don't get it, right? I don't sleep. I still can't get the fucking sleep. And now I'm like really worried because I'm like, okay, but and I'm like, okay, but I think the cough's going, right? I'm sticking to that. The symptoms usually go away. I think the cough is leaving. Come on, cough. We got it. So I think so this goes on till about 9 a.m. when I get a text from my sister that both my parents have COVID.
There you go.
And that was like a death blow. Because I don't know. My parents are six, like...
If you're going through this...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
What's it going to be like for them?
Yeah.
Even though you never got tested.
Just to make sure everyone's clear.
We
don't know what it was. So, but that hit me where I was like, do I need to... Oh, my God. Like, what's about to... Do I need to go there? Like, what's about to happen?
Yep.
I don't know because I don't watch the news and I'm not completely off the grid, but I'm kind of an idiot about certain things.
You have an iPod Touch.
Yeah. I have an iPod Touch.
You have an iPod Touch now.
I have an iPod Touch now. It's really sweet. But I think that, like, it's like what it was in the beginning where, like, if you get it, you're really fucked. Like, apparently now, like, your risk, as long as you've been vaccinated and boosted, is much less.
Right.
So
supposed to be.
Right. I didn't really know any of this. I was fucking nervous as shit. I haven't slept. We all know I'm coming off sore throat, whooping cough. I'm not in a good place.
But you have one more day.
Yeah, so this is what happens. It really doesn't trail into the fourth day. I'll say that. It was really the 3 night. Yeah. You were right. There was like I said 4, there's really like 3. So what happens is then I talk to my mom and that call does not go well because it makes me more aware of how paranoid and fucked I am in the head. Because because I call her and she's like, "No, everything's okay." And I'm like, I don't know what to do. I haven't slept. I think I need to go to the hospital. And she's like, maybe you should get, like, you might need to get help for. So that's making me like, oh, fuck, I think I need help.
But does she know that you went through the 2 nights of sleep deprivation?
She does know. She's like, I hope you just fall asleep for it, but I don't, like, you may need to go. Okay. It's getting to that point.
That doesn't help.
I know.
That doesn't help.
It doesn't help. And she's trying, but again, I'm already paranoid. And now they both have COVID. So now I'm like, oh my God, something's going to happen with them, right? So I spin out, I go to the CVS to get more meds. I'm just walking around. I eventually call Pomeroy, of all people. And I just dump it on him. I'm like, bro, this is what's going on. Everything, right? Because I'm also still worried about quarantining where there's people. So I got parent COVID, quarantine with people, actually no sleep.
So people came back to the apartment.
Yeah, he was around a little bit. I would see them periodically. They'd be in the kitchen.
Okay.
Yeah.
And no one knows a thing.
No.
Okay.
Right.
Interesting.
Right.
And then, so you were...
Which some people say, they think I should have... Yeah, I guess that's for your own...
Right. Well, when you find out that the landlord's telling you she's going to kick you out for having it...
it's hard to... Maybe I should have left. Maybe that's for people to decide about me, but...
But then you went walking around post day 3.
Yeah, so I get the call, and then I'm like, oh my God, maybe I need to go to the hospital. And then I go for this one last Hail Mary to CVS to get NyQuil, some stuff for the cough, come back and try again to fall asleep.
Okay.
Right? And I think I fall asleep for I have the conversation with Pomeroy first, which I think
friend of the pod.
Yep. And then I fall asleep for like an hour, I think. Maybe. But I'm like, oh my God. And I wake up. And even just that little bit of like distance and breathing room from it, I was like immediately my like panic was like subsided.
Okay.
I was like, okay. Like I called my mom back. I had spoken to my sister at the time too, and was like, I don't know how to talk to you right now. Like I was saying that. I was like, and was like, apologize. They're like, no, it's fine. It's fine. Like everything's okay. Like you were worried. But the sleep finally came. And even that night, I didn't sleep particularly well. but it like took a couple more nights for me to actually like sleep through a night and like fall asleep.
Okay.
But I did eventually, yes, I eventually got that like half hour or hour after I went to that CVS run.
Okay.
And it was like, okay, this thing seems to be actually leaving. The whooping cough was still, it wasn't like it was again. You know, now periodic, I had some cough drops. But when I got that text about my parents, and that morning after the black belt,
right,
that period for sure was, you know, and I know people know that like I call it, you don't have your ground under you. That very rarely happens. That hasn't happened to me in a long time, where you don't have the ground under your feet. I didn't have the ground under my, like I did not actually, I could not get the grip of that.
Right.
And that's where it felt like doing cocaine, going on a cocaine bender.
Right.
Because that's what the feeling is. When you do that, you sort of feel, that's why you want to like call everyone you know and make sure everything's okay. You know, you're like, you're in this weird.
Because you don't think you're okay.
Yeah, you're like, yes.
So if you're like, hey, am I all right? Everything's good?
And everyone's like, yeah, man, what's going on? You know, like there's no ground and you're grasping and you can't find a way to piece it back together. And it's a very, very, for people that have panic attacks, super uncomfortable feeling. I mean, man alive, because you kind of just have to let it pass.
Right.
You know, now that's how I almost, and that's what I'm saying from the original Tarantino. That was when I almost went to the hospital.
Okay.
I was very close.
And then what? And then like a week later? Well, first off, how did your parents do with it?
So then my parents seemed to do quite all right.
Interesting.
Yeah, fascinating, right? They still got sick, like had a couple tough nights.
A typical sick.
Yeah, like maybe the first night I got it. Like
fever,
where they
chills.
were, like they had that, but things seems to be all right over time. And my brother and sister didn't get it, and my symptoms lingered. Like I'm gonna tell you, man. Like again, there was psychological and emotional symptoms. So like a week later, I was like, I would say a week after that night, I felt like what you feel like when you come out of a sickness.
Right.
It lingered that long. And then the third week was the week where you kind of remember it because you're taking cough drops and you got a runny nose, but it's like kind of in the past. And then the fourth week, right, which is where we're almost at, is where now it's like you know, it wasn't a thing.
Right.
You know, I don't really remember, but that's how fucking intense it was.
And then you came out of that and you're like, you know what?
Yeah.
Got to get the physical health in check.
That's right.
Juice cleanse.
That's right.
Okay.
That's where I was like, and I've been thinking about that, and I knew that was like, that was coming anyway.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we talk, you know, I do the
You started
soda.
going to the gym.
Yeah, I was doing some like false starts, you know, where you
Okay.
try to get, yeah. But they're necessary. They're necessary to get back in the full rhythm.
Right. It's like a lighter. You got to strike it a few times to get the heat.
Yeah, exactly.
Flame. That's what I'm looking for.
The flame cruising. So, yeah. So then, and I don't know if it was directly correlated. I'm sure it was partly directly correlated to the COVID situation, but or the potential COVID situation. But the juice fast was just particularly for mental health.
The juice fast was for mental health.
Yes.
Interesting.
Very particularly, because I know, and now I'm noticing, like I'm off coffee, I'm off stimulants. Yeah, I'm off.
You cold turkey it.
Yeah. And I know because I don't know for sure I have major depression. I know it runs in my family. I've definitely dealt with it, right? So there's stuff with like that related to that is important. OCD, being obsessive compulsive. I know I use food to cope.
Right.
I know. So the mental side of like cleaning up and mood, right? Like that cleaning up the system is like maybe one of the most important things related to your all your mental health. And I know this is like fundamental root one, but what I did was I went into comedy and the lifestyle, and we were doing a lot. I sort of was just kind of leaned on the fact I was doing what I love. I'm having fun. I don't need to fucking worry about this shit. You know?
Right.
I don't need to have this stuff in order to feel good. I've got this stuff.
Right.
So I just let it. And then when I went sober, that was another excuse for me to be like, well, now I'm also going through this. So I this is what I'm focused on. I'm not worried about all this diet and health and exercise. I'm
Right, I'm already doing so well in this one category.
Yeah.
I can go reward myself with a piece of cheesecake at the diner at 3 a.m.
That's what I'm saying. And it got to the point where a person who I started my journey was very health related in yoga and juicing and eating healthy and my body. And I knew all this. I sort of like over time with these other things I was doing and lessons I was learning, I had just like pushed it to the back. And it just wasn't even going. Now it was costing me. And that's when I was like, oh, shit. I know what's happening here. You know, you can still feel like shit shooting a movie, doing stand-up, having a blast, having fun because you're eating like shit and smoking cigarettes.
Right.
It can still, you know, I'm the kind of guy who go, that shit's not going to matter.
Well,
you're living the dream.
You're so like tunnel vision with that.
Yes.
And then when that ends, when the movie ends, when you
Yes.
wrap, and then now you're back in New York and you're like, oh, I do not feel good.
Yes.
Wait, you finally
This
have a
is
minute
not
to breathe,
right.
and you're
That's
like,
right.
oh yeah, I eat 3 pints of ice cream a week.
That's exactly it. That's exactly it. And so I was like, okay, we're going to start at first principles here again. Excuse me. And and it's great, you know? It's a good thing. It's a good thing. It's like they always say, eventually the thing doesn't work for you anymore.
Right.
They say that in the rooms. Like eventually it just doesn't do what it was doing for you before. And right now, and you know, knock on wood, 2022, that's food for me.
Okay.
I'm like just
So that's
the way
the
I
next
was
mountain
Yes.
you're climbing.
Yes.
I like it.
Yep.
So
Done
what's
deal.
what's the juice schedule? What are you juicing? Do you have a juicer?
Yeah, well, I have a place near me that does great juicers,
Okay.
but I'm going to get a juicer and a Vitamix. But yeah, it's just like I'll do 1 or 2 a day. Do big juices.
And that's it.
Yeah.
You could have one
Yep.
juice and that's all you have for the entire day.
Yeah. Now, I wouldn't say it's fun, right? Like I
It's
get
not
tired.
fun.
Yeah, I've been lethargic. I've gotten tired. I've had to like rest a lot. But this is just that portion of it. Like I'm going to do this for another week, maybe a full month. I may do
Wow.
a full month because I do need again, for me, there's a great show called documentary for people who want to watch it, Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead.
Okay.
And they juice fast. And what the big thing about it is it's like, let's say, okay, this is how you do it. Let's say you want to organize your drawer. I heard this analogy. I love it. Instead of organizing your drawer in your drawer, you take everything out of your drawer and then you figure out how you want to put it back in.
Right.
That's a juice fast. You empty the drawer first,
Okay.
right?
I understand what you're saying.
Right. You fast. You get rid of everything that's in I'm going raw fruits and vegetables. And then when I start filling the drawer again, I'll know how to structure and build it and be disciplined to organize it well.
Right.
Right. So it's a 2-step process. And it helps you with the cravings. Like, yeah. And once I got through the COVID thing, I was like, dude, juice fast, I can handle fucking brutal night.
As long as I can sleep, I don't really give a fuck.
Yeah, that's what happened. Like, I've had some crazy hunger. I've had some fucking gnarly, sweats and, like, hunger and shit. And I'm just like, fucking whatever. I take some supplements, and now I'm feeling good. I feel fucking great,
The sweater fits?
Yeah, the sweater fits, I'm cruising. So I'll go for, like another couple weeks, and then I'll go strict plant-based.
You're going plant-based?
Yeah, but it won't be like 100%. It'll be like, 90% plant-based diet. I'll do maybe a little bit of turkey, a little bit of fish here and there.
Okay.
But it won't be like, brown rice, okay, but it'll be like a serving a day.
You're not doing the grilled chicken and rice diet.
No, I'm going to go mostly nutrient rich. My favorite thing is the book Eat to Live.
I've heard of that.
Yeah. So I've done it before and it works for me, but it's going to be like a lot of, vegetables, nuts, beans,
Okay.
chilies, eggplant.
Are you a cook?
Tofu.
Do you cook?
Well, that's the other thing that's going on that I'm loving is I'm back.
You're spinning it around. But
God, you have to. It's actually one of the best parts because I saw you cook. You got the chicken breast going right there.
I try not to brag.
It's one of the best parts about this whole thing is getting the cooking back because you actually have to cook because realistically you can't go out into the world, generally speaking, and get the food you're going to want.
And New York City is not the best case scenario because you probably can, but almost anywhere else you can't.
Yeah.
But like when I know I go back to comedy every night, I can't cook like I have been for the past 2 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, so this is a great question. I love this that you're bringing this up because I've been wondering the same thing. I think the revolution, and maybe you're going to get on this with me.
I'll join you.
Is, and it's a sort of a raw feeling, but it's how I felt doing comedy when I was sober, if I'm going to be really honest.
Okay.
It felt fucking weird because when I quit alcohol, because it was every time I was going, I sort of felt like, how am I going to do this without, drinking and being at everyone in these bars and everyone's doing this stuff and I'm not like, and it was a process. I think it's this for me with the cooking, with the same thing with the health, like, and you're doing those things, you sort of have to, it's going to feel weird where you have to adjust to doing both the cooking and doing the comedy.
I know. So are you going to do like Tupperware to the show?
Yes. Juan does this, and it's pretty. I'm going to take a page out of his book. Like he does the soups.
He exclusively eats, which by the way, questionable if some of these are soups.
Yeah,
some of these
they're
are
mixtures.
Just, yeah, some of these are just solids that he put hot water on top of and just really blended together.
Yes. Well, that's what it's going to be. But soups can be healthy, but that's what it's going to be like. You're going to have to bring things, and you're going to have to adjust like the way you eat. If you're like, okay, I'm out tonight, you got to know a place like, or you're not going to eat more, or you're going to adjust what you eat if you go somewhere.
Yeah.
But it's not going to be fun. Like that's the other thing. That's why it's like, you're like, I'm not going to be able to eat like I can eat. And I think that's not true. But you are going to have to, if you want to be that, you're just going to have to be that guy.
You're going to have to adapt.
Yeah, and really just be that guy. Like, and now I'm ready again to just sort of, because I know it's going to, people just don't want to hear it. Eventually they'll give up, trying to make you eat like shit and be like, what are you doing? Come on, you can't have that. What are you talking about?
Right, just come get a burger. Just come get It's like, no, I got the salad. I got to have the salad. I got to go to Kava. Kava during comedy, when I was doing 4 or 5 shows a night.
There you go.
Kava.
Yeah. You find something like that. Or I got to go home.
Yeah, that's...
Right?
If you live in the area, you could do that.
Right. Or no, I don't mean go home and come back. Like maybe that, like you did the set, and if you're going to hang around for 3 hours, you're going to eat like shit. I got to go home.
Yeah, just take yourself out of the equation.
Yeah, like you do have to get, at least in my opinion, for longevity. Because sustainability is the most important thing. So if I can't eat healthy and do comedy, I'm fucked. Because eventually what's going to happen is I'm going to have to stop because I'm treating my body like so. I'm going to force myself to stop.
Eventually those two roads will merge.
Yes, and I'll have to give up. I'll have to be like, oh my God, I can't keep living. Something has to give here.
Right.
So it's more important like for your health to be like, okay, just figure out now how to do this.
Right.
Figure it out. Do some juices. Do some bring some Tupperware.
Yeah.
Do some stuff like that. And that's a great question because I think about that too all the time. Like last night I did a set.
I saw you.
Yeah, I did. Colin and I did. It was so absurd. We did 20. We didn't realize it. We went for 24 minutes up top.
Yeah, it was just you two. You were sitting on a table.
Yes, just talking. And we just opened it and shared a mic. It was so. We were cruising though for a little while, and then after we were like, it was like insane.
Was it comedy or just a conversation?
It was comedy. I mean, we were getting laughs. It was also a conversation. It was a bit, you know?
It was a live pod. You did a live pod.
Yes, but it was definitely a bit. You know, Scoville, I was like, hey, let's just go up and we'll both open the show because he didn't have 2 mics.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's more than fine.
Yes. No, it was fun. It was good. But I'm juicing. You know, I got my juice there.
You had your juice, spinning it around.
It's like, all right, like this is the benefits mentally are, there's just no way around, at least in my opinion, there's no way around the correlation between your mental state and your health and your success and all that kind of good stuff that we like.
It's all
your stability, yes, and your diet.
Yep.
It's like, now that I'm doing more research and I'm learning about depression and setting goals and all these different things that are very important, most of it, unless they want to give you an SSRI or unless they want to tell you to go to therapy or take some fucking, some drug, it's diet.
Right.
And even if you do take those things, they tell you what you eat. And it makes so much sense. Like, it's what you eat. And it's if you're drinking coffee. Like, I used to be drinking a coffee 1,000 times a day. You know how much of a problem that made for my anxiety? It was a disaster.
Well, what's going on at the theater now?
Yeah.
You used to get a DC and a pop.
Yeah.
Popcorn.
So right now, that's the deep tragedy. If there's a deep tragedy, it's corn at the theater. Now, I'm doing water right now.
That's fine.
It's fine. What I do think can happen is I will have a cheat meal here and there, right?
Which is fine.
Could be corn at the theater if I want, which is good.
It's up to you to put back together your drawer.
That's right.
That's
right.
Maybe popcorn goes into the drawer this week.
Exactly. Maybe I start bringing in like a healthy pop under the jacket.
Listen, you're a fucking Stubbs member.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't fucking matter, Like, I've been doing water, I'll do seltzer. Maybe I'll go a little earlier to the movies a couple times. I've been doing that too.
Okay.
Yeah. But you've thought about that, right? With the how am I going to cook?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
When you're back in the swing of things, it's going to be a problem.
Yeah. And that's why I think it's just relearning. I think it's just rescheduling and relearning. That's what I think. And I think it's important that it happens. Because if you just do I was thinking about this the other day. If you're just the last guy at the party all the time who's eating everything, drinking everything, hanging out, smoking cigarettes, it's unsustainable.
Right. And I think the pandemic made everyone clear their drawer out.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay.
That's right.
What actually belongs in here?
How can I go forward here?
Right.
Correctly. And if you want to cook, maybe it is, you throw a couple things in a Tupperware and then you go out for, 3-4 hours.
Right. Maybe you put some mashed potatoes and a piece of pork in a thing and put hot water in it and spin it around and tell people it's soup.
Exactly.
Maybe you do that.
The guy in the book, Furman, he said, just take some whole wheat pitas and make stuffed veggies in them or whatnot and wrap a couple of those. Mm-hmm. And there you go. You can bring that in a backpack anywhere. It'll stay. It's fine.
I know. I'm looking into making your own crunch wraps.
Yeah.
I looked into that for
There you go.
I'm trying to think what fits in a Tupperware and is kind of healthy and I don't.
That's right. That's what it's going to be. We're going to be those guys. But I'm 36. That's important, I think.
Again, I think it's important regardless of age.
Yes.
I think it's just good.
You're just going to feel better. Right. Exactly.
Right.
It's just like you don't necessarily want to be the, eating the burger, fucking doing pizza, doing not, smoking the cigarette. It's like, oh my God, man. Like, this is,
Right.
No good. So, we'll see. That's the knock on wood. 2022. Get the
year of health.
That's right. Get the
Physical
diet,
health.
get the health, get the diet. I'm exercising, but I'm most worried about the diet.
Right.
And then we'll worry about sleep. and all these other ones that I
That's
still have.
2023.
Yeah, we can't. You can't. This can't be everything, and that'll affect it. I
Right.
know. So it's like, boom, we'll do that. Yeah, and then you grow. You grow. You grow with the art. You grow with stand up. You grow with comedy or writing or making movies or shooting or as an actor. You grow
Hopefully
with it.
you do.
Yeah.
Most people don't grow. They just
But you
stay.
that's the thing. You got to keep, it'll meet you where you're at.
Right.
That's what the great thing about it. It's sort of like a mirror. Like, that's what's great about being an artist is like, as you grow, the thing, you'll have new things to express. It'll meet you where you are, and as you grow, you'll grow through it and it'll be a new thing.
Hopefully. It should. That's the plan. Now you just got to stick to the plan.
Yeah. That's the plan. Who knows? Maybe we'll be all be doing the same old stuff, the same old bits.
That's it.
Yeah, we went forever to this. Oh no,
No, not that bad.
Yeah, look at that.
We did good. Okay.
Yeah.
Matt Hardy, always the best.
All right, people.
Adios.